know that sometimes the seek of enlightenment can actually lead us away from the growth that we actually are looking for? Let me ask you this as well. Have you ever found yourself using spirituality as a shield, avoiding the shadows of your emotions and your experiences instead of just facing them head on? Well, if so, continue to watch this video because we're going to dive into about 4 different ways as to how we spiritually bypass. Let's go. So number 1 is dismissing problems with, it's all perfect, it's all good, all is well. It's this idea of asserting the all is well, it's all perfect, you know, everything is as it should be. It's that statement, that mentality where we may get caught up in using that mentality to dismiss like injustices and like actual real problems that need to be addressed. So when I think of that, I have definitely done that. I've definitely just been like, you know, all is well, all is well. Like I've said that to people when I know for a fact that I needed to address something with them, just to either play it safe, play it small, or to just flat out fucking avoid the fact that this needs to be addressed. But because I don't want to go into the depths of it, because I don't want to deal with the shadow side of that experience or those emotions, I'm just going to avoid it. And I'm going to use spirituality and positivity to just, act like it's not happening, it's not existing. Number 2, over-reliance on the law of attraction. So what I have here is blaming individuals for their own hardship, right? By suggesting that they simply aren't thinking positive enough or have manifested correctly. Now, this takes me back to a video that I recently made about the hidden knowledge of, or a part of the hidden knowledge of the law of attraction. So like when you come back, let's come back to where we are now and thinking about spirituality and how we can spiritually bypass certain things using the law of attraction. First of all, one of the things that I've come to realize is that's not being very empathetic, right? When you want to just point the finger or blame someone and be like, you know what, clearly you're not manifesting correctly, or you're just not positive enough. That's why you keep creating these, unwanted experiences. That is a way of spiritually bypassing, just pointing and blaming on something else instead of actually going into it, getting into the thick of it, And I speak on this because I have been here, and I'm sure that I will continue to navigate these waters in being mindful of spiritually bypassing, because sometimes spiritual bypass happens when you're not even actually very aware that you're doing it. And I mean, of course, the more aware you become, you may be able to catch yourself, or you may have those around you that don't mind calling you out on your stuff. But sometimes you're just not even aware that you are really trying to avoid the work, right? You're trying to avoid the uncomfortability of dealing with the shadow side of these different things, emotions, experiences, stuff like that, aspects of yourself. Number 3 is oversimplifying complex emotions. So using spirituality to oversimplify human emotions, suggesting that complex feelings can be overcome by simply just letting it go. Let's just let it go and let's just act like it's not happening. Without acknowledging that some things they need emotional processing and therapy. So let's go into this a little bit. So we've all, I'm sure, have experienced, complex emotion. And I am a strong believer that you can make a decision. I actually will be creating some content around the power of decision making, right? But we can make a decision to not explore certain things And with that in mind, when we come across like complex emotions, that can be extremely challenging to just be like, oh yay, let's do this. This is gonna be fun. No, it's not always fun. It's not always fun. Really asking yourself the questions, and like not just asking yourself the questions, but being so mindful and aware, either by your own way in discernment and intuition, or having people that can support you and ask you these questions. You have to be able to be open to the questions that really need to be asked, right? Sometimes we can even keep the path of how deep we go, we can keep that surface level. So like, what questions need to be asked, right? So when you are exploring the complexity of an emotion, there has to be a sense of questioning that happens. Why? Who? Where? How? What? Like, what's going on here? Now, how? That can just be super, super uncomfortable. And once again, I say this from experience. I promise that on this channel, Empress Expressions, you are going to get my expressions, okay? You're going to get the real, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. It's gonna be loving, it's gonna be nurturing, but it's also gonna be very assertive and matter of fact, okay? So yeah, like oversimplifying complex emotions is hands down one way to spiritually bypass. Let's get into number 4. This is the last one. Avoiding negative emotions by overemphasizing positivity. So forcing positivity in order to ignore these negative emotions, bypassing real grief or trauma, hiding behind beliefs like everything happens for a reason, kind of like we were saying earlier, instead of like facing and processing the feelings and the thoughts that come up. And I would have to say, before I really became aware of and understanding what spiritual bypassing was, I hands down, this was one of my biggest things. I'm just gonna be positive about it all. And eventually it's just gonna go away. Like, if I don't pay it any attention, eventually, or if I don't feel into the negative side of it, if I don't actually address and face what is actually happening and how I'm actually feeling, I will just change this into something positive. But the way the transmutation happens and works is you have to feel into a thing, right? That's me bypassing. Oh, this really shitty freaking experience just happened, and I'm just gonna like, all is well. I'm just so happy. Life is so good, and it is great, but I'm just gonna pretend like I don't really feel horrible, and my heart isn't broken, and I'm not sad, and I'm not fearful, and I'm not questioning and doubtful and insecure about a certain situation, right? I'm just going to avoid that, and I'm just going to automatically try to convince myself that everything is positive and everything is well when I am not truly vibrating there. That's fake energy, right? And I've said it before, you can't fake energy. So energy doesn't lie. So I am pretty much fighting against myself. Right now we're in an internal conflict. So that is really what I have for you when it comes to spiritual bypassing. I feel like I could really go further and further into this, and I'm sure I will come back around to this as I continue to navigate and intuit and understand and have more and more experiences of how this shows up. But if you are like, if any of this resonated with you, I just want to recommend that you just be a gentle observer of it, right? This is not to be like, oh my God, like I've just been spiritual bypassing my entire spiritual journey. No, that's not what this information is here for. This is so that you can become aware of how you may be spiritually bypassing because of different concepts and ideologies within the spiritual community that can really take you outside of the actual experience that you're seeking, which is usually growth. Like I said at the top of this video, sometimes the pursuit of enlightenment actually takes us down a path opposite of that, right? It actually takes us from the growth that we actually seek. So this is just for mindfulness. This is just for mindfulness. Use it as that. And this is my love, me giving it to you. So that is what I have for you. Thank you so much for vibing out with me and my energy here at Empress Expressions. My name is Amber and I am the Empress here. And do not forget, down in the description box, I have information there if you want to book a session with me for just coaching or whatever that is. There's a discovery link down at the bottom for a discovery call for us to just connect and just see if we are in alignment with each other, if we're vibing with each other, if this is a good union. If you're looking for something like that, I will be sharing some more, some other opportunities and things that I am creating right now when it comes to my coaching business, and I will start adding that stuff down into the description box as well. And then also don't forget that I am a living soul profiler, right? And that is a really great way for just getting a nice foundation, right, for who you are and understanding. So that link is down in the comments or in the description box below, and it's still $45. I would say hop on that one-time payment, small self-investment. You keep it for forever. Beautiful layout as always, and lots of information there, right? So when you receive that, definitely just hit me up and we can figure out a way to connect so that we can bring that together and bring it into your world, bring it into your life so that you can understand exactly what you received. So that is what I have for you. I send you peace, I send you light, and I send you love. And until next time, bye.